Okay, we're back again. Hopefully this works this time. So I'll wait and see if anybody joins in. But basically, for the video after the live stream, I'll talk about this. I'm doing a piece where hopefully multiple images will come together to create a big image. My idea for this is the X-Men I decided to do. So right here is Rogue and Gambit. I'm going to be working on Gambit today. I worked on Rogue yesterday. So for you guys, I'm going to work on Gambit. But the kicker is I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a triptych, which is just 3 posters, but I might do more than that. I'm thinking about doing the whole blue team from the 90s. But I started off with Rogue. Originally, I was thinking about doing a Rogue and Gambit, and then it just kind of evolved where I was like, oh, what if I did a triptych, which they kind of connect to each other, and as you can kind of see, the arm already kind of goes. So it's supposed to be like a seamless thing, but they could also work by themselves. So anyway, let's get going on Gambit, because I've wasted enough time as it is. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear me while I'm drawing, because my mic is in a whole new area or new situation, so I'm not sure yet how it's going to go, but hopefully it goes okay. Why am I struggling to see now? Usually I don't struggle this hard to see my own drawing here, so I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. But let's see here. So I think I want to angle the eye up a little bit. Like this, so because it's in this area here. These eyes, this is, like I said, I've been drawing a lot of females lately, so I'm trying to get back into the business of drawing males. I feel like you can draw them similarly, but I feel like regularly they're drawn very differently, just to kind of accentuate different things in artwork. And then, of course, it's completely dependent on your style and how you want to do things. But for me, like, deciding to do, it like this is just how I do it. Yeah, I don't know if it's easy to see what's going on either. So hopefully things are actually working this time. I don't actually know if they are or not, but hopefully they are. And hopefully you can see. I don't know if you can actually see. I'm also not 100% confident what I'm doing yet. This might go through a gazillion alterations just to make that clear. Like, I'm not sold on anything I'm doing right now, so just bear with me. I've also never drawn this character before, so this is a whole new, kind of light for me. But we're giving it a go. I'm trying to, I don't know, like, I want to put my own spin on it. I'm trying not to look at any real reference material, because I want, like I said, I want my own style to show through. So I'm going to try my best not to look at any real reference material for this and just kind of go with it. I think I made the eyes, though, a little bit off tilter here, though. I think they're a little off here. Actually, yeah, I do have it looking a bit strange here. I think I need to change that there. I have that looking a little weird, looking a little wonky. Like I said, I have his other eye kind of going up in the air, so it makes sense for me to kind of flip this eye up a little bit more. It would come down and then make this sort of shape. I would say, I think I was talking about Jim Lee. I think Jim Lee did a video where it kind of helped me figure out how to draw eyes a little bit better, depending on, obviously the character and the expression you're going for. But like for kind of a stern sort of expression, I think it was Jim Lee, I think, that sort of helped me sort of with the eye shape and how you want it to be like a triangle, but not like crazy. And then you can kind of go off of that and just figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't off of that sort of thing. And hopefully people can see. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have him looking off into the distance here. So I'm going to put his pupils somewhere like here. Pupil there. And then give him the eyes. So I'll put his pupil over here a little bit. Just kind of give him his eyes there. So hopefully this doesn't make him look too crazy. I kind of try to find a way to like make it so the eyes don't look too weird. I don't know how to explain that. I try my best, but sometimes I don't always hit the mark on that. You know, especially with characters I've never drawn before, and I'm just trying to like, you know. I hit the bill. I think his mouth is a little bit too close to his nose. I don't know. I gotta see here. Let's see. Give this part here. I want it to come this way and then kind of go this way. So I'm going for more of a straight face, but you know, and then this mouth can go over here. I think this is. I'm struggling a little bit, but we're gonna kind of mess with it. I'll probably have to change these eyes because I think they're a little bit too angled. They don't look very realistic. And I want to you know, kind of blur the line of what's, you know, what makes sense and what's kind of, you know, what makes sense and what's kind of unrealistic. I want to like blur that line personally. I like to blur it, so just kind of give those lines there, some there. Yeah, I think this eye's a little bit too small and too close to the head, as well as I think this mouth is looking a bit strange. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not like a tremendous artist, so I still go through all these same issues that like every artist goes through. You know, I'm still learning, you know. Still trying to find my sort of way here. Give it kind of like a curve like this, I guess. Yeah, I think they're on different playing fields, to be honest. I think that's where the issue is lying here. It's not like straight across here. I think this needs to be where it sort of starts. This. That's a little bit better, I think. I'm struggling right now. I'm not gonna lie. I am struggling right now to get these eyes how I want, and I just don't think it looks right. I don't know. Something looks off to me. This eye looks okay. This one on this right side here is looking a bit funky to me. I just can't. I don't know. I'm not really getting the shape that I want, I guess. To the brow there. I give him the thick eyebrows here. Try my best here. I don't know what's off to me. I think it might be the angle of them, just because they're a bit angular, looking a little weird. I don't know. I don't know, but I do want the brow to kind of come off it like this, and then we can get it going to the face, cheekbone, jaw, I guess. I'm going to keep this kind of flat, I think, because I think that'll look better if I just keep it flat here, and then I just go for the cheekbone and stuff. I think it's just my pencils having too much black going on in the eye there that's making it look weird to me. I think that's what I'm gonna go with as the reason. Okay. This is more so the middle, so we're just gonna have it again. I just want a straight face, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. Just a straight face. Okay, and I want mid-eye. I want kind of like middle of the eye here. Don't want it to go too much further than that, so maybe like here. We can accentuate the frown. I don't know. The more I think about it, I kind of want him to be a little bit more smiley because of the character himself. But I feel like I've given him too angled eyes to have him kind of smiling because, but I can try giving him a smile. I just feel like right now I've given him way too angled eyes and just all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I need to lighten this back up. I don't know. Show again that I'm not perfect, and I'm still learning. But that's the whole circus here, you know. Okay, and then again with this one, I want it more here, and again, I don't feel like the angle needs to be crazy. Alright, and then here, I'm gonna go straight, and then I'm gonna be a little bit of a smirk here. Give a little bit of a smirk there. Mid-eye, mid-eye. We'll give him the... the lower lip. I don't know if you guys can actually see any of this that I'm doing. I don't know. Is that possible to see what I'm doing? I'm holding this here for a while. I guess it's a little bit possible to see what I'm doing. I don't know. Not great, but it is what it is, I guess. Give him a little bit more of a grip to that, I guess. Just give him that little shrink there. Okay, and then of course, like I said, the eyes, we gotta give... Let him look basically out of the right, all the way to the right. All right. I still don't know if I like these eyes, but I think that I think the idea of them looks a little bit better than before. So that makes me feel a little bit more confident about them. I like to add a little bit of shadow. And he's going to have lots of shadow, so I'm not too concerned with how it all looks. But for some reason, it doesn't look right to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why this happens, but it often happens when I do this, where I'm like looking at it and I'm like, what the frig looks so weird? Because I can't tell. I can't tell. It looks so strange to me. I don't know. Anyway, it'll give him a little bit of a boxy chin going into this, and then his ear would be somewhere around here because I want to make sure I know just kind of where the ear would kind of lie, because that would be where the jaw would go. The neck would go out from under the ear, and then we want the head to go like this a little bit. Okay, we need to give him some forehead before I go into his, hair. So I'm thinking to maybe like here. All right. Gambit's design's a little bit funky, but I think it looks pretty kind of cool. So I believe this design is like this, and then it comes down on the face. So I'd say right here, comes across the face like the cheekbone area, and then comes back down around the mouth. So that's how his mask works. It does this sort of thing, and then the neck would come down in this area here. And then we give him his hair coming out of here. For me, I'm going to do his hair kind of shooting off into the distance over here. I'm just kind of roughing it in. I'm not really, kind of going crazy with it, because I will have a little bit more, because it should flop flopping a little bit. It's not going to be perfectly wafting over in that direction, but just generally speaking, it's going to go over here, and akin to that. It's probably a little bit too high, maybe it comes down a little bit more like this, because I don't want it to completely defy gravity, but I do want it to have like that sort of thing. And then you can have some of them kind of come off the headband and stuff. Very similarly to Rogue's hair in that regard, how it's going to do that. It's going to start wafting over to the side like this, and just sort of moving kind of like this. Very similar in that regard. I'm going to have it going up in the air, though. I do want it, kind of looking a little funky, like what's actually happening here, and that's what I want. So I do want it to do that, and have some of it just sticking up out of these random spots. So it looks okay. I probably could give him a little bit more of a chin, but I don't really want too crazy. I don't want to go too crazy. I think that's pretty good. I'm giving him this cheekbone, and I feel like I'm exaggerating that enough as it is. And then I can exaggerate this cheekbone a little bit, but I don't think it's all that necessary, because I've already got this stuff going down here. So I don't want that to be so exaggerated there, though. I do kind of want it to come out like this, and then... So his chin isn't absolutely freaking massive, because I was giving him this massive chin, and I kind of wanted to, be a little bit, width-wise it was massive, so I definitely want to lower that a little bit. There we go. So hopefully that looks a little bit sturdier. I don't know, I might change his hair too. I'm not sure if I'm sold on it quite yet. I'm not, it's very anime styled. It looks very anime to me right now, so who knows, I might change it up, I don't know. But then he's got his coat here coming down across, and I want it to be in front of his face, as I already kind of suggested. But yes, I do want it to sort of come in front of his face. And if it was folded, right, you'd have two cuffs like this. Since it's coming, wafting in front of his face a little bit, covering his body, I believe it would look something like this. It's not perfect, but something along these lines. It's going to come down here, and it's going to go in front of his body like that, and then this part around his neck, it's going to come down and then waft over his shoulder. So it's not going to be, and there's going to be tons of folds, so it's all about, for me, this is one of the toughest parts about drawing clothing, I think, is kind of recognizing where these folds would be, and I'm not I'm not very good at it yet, but we do want to get the idea that this is a jacket, and that it's it's a neck, it's a collar. So I do want it to come kind of straight down and then go across to his shoulder, a little bit more like that. I think that looks a little bit better. This is gonna have a lot of stitching and folds and stuff in it. It's gonna be all over the place. But yeah, ideally it might even come out a little bit further than this. I don't really get that. And then I want it to come across his face, so I'm thinking right here. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Out in front of his face like that. And then the other one would also kind of waft like this. And these ones would have, this one, let's say this is a shoulder, this one would be sort of like this, and then you would see that much, and then kind of the innards of the jacket, it's going to fold right here. Let's say that part's folded, and then the inner side of the jacket's going to kind of come down here. And then his shoulder, I'm going to have his shoulder here, and this light kind of like right here. The rest of his coat is not going to be really seen, or his arm. So I'm having his arm like, yeah, I can't really show you, but like in the back, it's going to be kind of in the back here. So yeah, and then the shoulder and stuff, and the arm and everything, this stuff is going to be very difficult for me. Like I said, I'm very bad at drawing folds and things of those natures, like where folds would lie. I think if the coat was kind of fitted to him, there'd be some definite folds around these parts here, I'm thinking. But then again, I'm not like great at this, so I could totally be wrong. But I'm just trying to ideal. There would definitely be some folds in this area, probably a little bit in there, and then like it's gonna go down this way. And I want it to be, I do want it to look like a jacket. I don't want it to look like a muscle shirt at the same time. So maybe this right here. Not necessary, you kind of get those in there. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to. I'm not sure. I'm trying to be as reclamation as I can. Also, don't know if I'll ink this on stream here. Might just be a really short stream of me penciling because I don't know if I want to ink tonight, to be honest. So, and I have to cut the other paper to do the rest of the pencils, but I kind of want to get all the pencils done on this before I kind of initiate into the whole inking phase and stuff like that. So I think like I want his chest to begin somewhere around here. So we'll make the spot for his pecs here, and his collarbone be somewhere around here, ideally, right? So and then this luckily is going to be covering up a good portion of that, and this is the inside, so you can see these lines. You'll see these lines like that. Like I said, this is sort of, maybe even add like a fold like this. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think I'll keep it sort of like this, but we can have it, kind of give some angling there, so it looks as though, that it makes sense. If that makes sense, I don't know. I'm not great at telling, with these sorts of things. Anyway, so I put that there. So this is where I want he has this, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain this design, but all right, depending on the one you look at, I would say sort of he has this line that kind of cuts off across his neck here with this design. I have to keep looking at it because I keep forgetting sort of what I'm looking at here. Right, okay, so I gotta look at this. This design is very strange to me, but anyway, it's hard to see. So this part would definitely be visible. Maybe this part here, I think it goes kind of across here, so then it would come like this. These big pieces. And then up like this, so you might see a little bit of it there. I don't think you really see much of it here, but maybe a little bit. Regardless, these are like pipes, so I'll put some lines so they look like pipes, but they're weird piping things. Hard to explain. This is like a part of a shirt here. And then this would be like weird lines. They're not, you know, diagonal or whatever. It's like all different. Something like this. Okay. And then out of that would be his pecs at the bottom. It's such a weird design to me, but I've always fascinated by the design. I'm not like, it's not like super weird, but it's like weird at the same time. I don't know how else to explain it. It's not the weirdest thing I've seen, but it has those weird sorts of properties. And yeah. Also, I think I'm going to make his eyes a bit smaller. I'm not really feeling how big these eyes are. I think they're a little bit too large. Or at least this left one is a bit too large. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, I think. I'm going to hold on. Sharpen my pencil so I can get... Cool thing about this mechanical pencil is that you can sharpen it. I think that's really cool. So I get in here and really get a really sharp point on there. I gotta dump out that graphite. Okay, so I think I want to make this smaller. I want to make it down here a little bit. And just make it a little bit smaller. I was thinking something like this, maybe. Something like this. Yes, small, the size. I think I'm going to do that with the other one as well. Just shrink it a little bit. So come from the middle here. Kind of out and then... like this. Alright, something like that. And then I'll put his eye again over here. Something like that. And then there we go. So I think that looks a little bit better. We'll rotate it so it doesn't look like a complete angle, because that's kind of weird. Alright, and then get these lines up in here. There we go. And I was actually incorrect on his costume. His ear actually does stick out of it. I thought it didn't for some reason. I don't know why, but I thought it didn't stick out of it, but it actually does stick out. So his ear does stick out. So I gotta draw that in there. Something like that. Does stick out of his costume, so weirdly I didn't think it did, but it does. So something like this, and then add a little bit of a loop there. I feel like I draw ears really weird. It looks like it might be hugging his body too much. I don't know why I think I draw ears so strangely. I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me that feels this way, that I draw ears really weird. I feel like I've got the basics down for drawing an ear, but for some reason, every time I draw them, I always feel like they look so strange. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the shape that I draw them at. Let's do a connecting ear lobe with this one. We'll do a connector. Just because, like I said, I feel like it looks so weird. Even that looks weird. What is it, dude? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Why it looks so strange to me. I don't know, maybe I just don't have it far enough back here. Maybe it needs to go like here. You got eye to ear, eyebrow, and nose, right? So it should be like this, maybe. Something like that. Down. It's nose level, so somewhere around here. This part of the lobe, this back part here. And then attach this area. Have the head come out of there, and then there. And then the jaw. Maybe I add just a little bit more on the back. His neck, more on the back of his head. There, I think that looks a little bit better. Just add a little bit more on the back of these areas here. That'll look a little bit better, I think. So make the jaw a little bit longer. I don't know. The ear might be too far off. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying out here, but I feel like I'm getting like these weird looks with how I've got the hair. But like I feel like I'm getting a weird look, not getting these weird looks. I feel like I'm getting a weird look. Okay, something like this, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Got little over the place. All right, this to his ribs. Then we go down here, and we've got his abs. So something there. Belly. Okay. This obviously they continue onto this side. Whoo! Right, and then he's got his waist thing, which is another weird shape, but his waist thing is also another one of these weird shape things. It kind of comes here, and goes up, and goes across, and then it forms up here like this. I don't know how else to really show it. It actually might be a bit too low, I think, but I'm going to put it there anyway. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm struggling right now to understand my own drawing. Like it would come this and this one. Oh! God, I'm stupid. No wonder I'm looking at this like, what? Because it doesn't make sense, right? This would come like this, but then it would go straight down to wherever we need. This, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. And then this would go straight down like this. So if it's going out to there, then it'd be like that. Duh. I should have known that, but I'm, not always the brightest, I guess, at times. Oh, man. I suppose I could just do this, though, as well, so it makes more even like that. But, to give it that oomph, but it would still come down like that, I feel. Right. Yeah, right. I actually want it more up. Uphill. There we go. There we go. I think that makes more sense. Probably, hopefully, it does make more sense. This is all going to be black anyway, right down here. So I don't really care. If the light's hitting here, this is all going to be shaded. So that's something real quick to think about. Right, like this, the shadows. I'm having the light source from over here. That's how I did on Rogue, so it's gonna hit the same sort of way. So all the light is this. This is all black, and then what I'm gonna have hit is I'm actually gonna have this part of the ear and then part of here, right here. This is where there's gonna be light hitting the black parts of his costume. I don't want it to be. I don't really want light to hit in a completely straight line though. So I'm thinking somewhere like this. Whoop. Add a little squiggly. Right, and then we can get in here. We can start shading underneath this because this whole neck area and this is going to be dark. This won't be, but it's not part of the neck and everything. So all that's going to be shaded. I look on camera. I hold my pencil so weird. I don't know. It just looks so awkward to me. Maybe it's just me. But like looking at myself holding my pencil, like, oh my gosh, it looks so strange to me. I don't know. Probably it's just me, but yeah, and then we're just gonna shadow this. So like I said, I'm doing the pencils like I would do. If you look at comic book artist pencils, they do all their own shadowing and shading in their art for their art. So there we go. So I'm just shadowing this, and then I would have this be cross hatching is what I'm gonna do. So I'll just get in there and cross hatch myself, just so you can kind of get into the grayscale. Right, so it steadily sort of enters the grayscale like that. So it's kind of like a steadfast entry point. And then this, you really want this part here, if you're having the light hit that hard, you really want this part back here to be very, very light and almost like, you can almost like leave gaps. And the brain, like, you can almost like leave gaps and the brain would like look at it and be like, oh, there's supposed to be a, there's supposed to be a light source here, or not a light source. The brain will look at it and be like, oh, there's supposed to be a line here, and it'll fill it for you. You don't have to like actually fill out the whole ear or the whole line. Your brain will like focus for you, and that kind of insinuates light in a little bit. So and then the light source here, like we want a little bit of the cross hatching to come down on this so that it looks like that's a part of the head. Since the light source is coming from over there, right, we would have shadows under the eyes. And I'll do a little bit harsher here than I did for Rogue, just because I feel like females, you don't want to, destroy their face with shadows as much as you do when you draw a male. I don't know. That totally makes sense, but trust me. Just trust me on that. Just gonna have to trust me. But yes, the males have a lot. We would, add a lot more shadowing, I feel. And you can go a little bit crazy with it. I'm pretty tamed right now in how I'm attacking the shadows. I feel like I'm doing it in a pretty tamed way, but you could definitely go pretty hard with it. I also want to give him stubble, which is hard to show on in my pencils, but I do want to give him a little bit of stubble because he tends to have that, so it's hard to kind of show. But I want a little bit of stubble, and so I'm just trying to do some dots. I think that'll suffice. As the fact that he's got some extra hair going on there, but I don't want like actual full on hair. It's hard to explain. Also, I feel like it's hard to see. I don't know. Can you guys? I don't know. I think you can see what's going on. I've been told, but I don't know. For some reason, it looks really difficult to see for me. Like I feel like it's hard to see. I don't know. Maybe we'll add shadows around this portion and this. Wait. Ba-da-ba-ba. His hair's brown, so there's going to be lots of shadowing going on inside this hair, and just it's going to be pretty tough. I have a hard time shadowing light shadowing hair as well, because I feel like, you don't want to add too many lines, you don't want to add too many dark shadows, so it's very tough, especially if you do it black and white, which is probably what these will be. Because I don't really feel like I don't feel very comfortable as a colorist. So, unless somebody volunteers to color for me, this probably will be a black and white inked image. So, and I don't think I need as many droopies as I have here, to be honest. I think just a couple of them drooping would suffice, and then maybe the most of them just kind of going up and going with the flow. I don't know, because I feel like just a couple of droopers is fine. I don't feel like it needs as many as I was giving it, but maybe just like one thick line there. I don't know. One thicker one here, and then it's probably good, and just kind of sketchy lines into there. So my pencils are looking a little funky right now, but I don't know, that hair looks okay. Yeah, the sketchy lines, kind of following the shadows on the coat is going to be a little bit tough, just because I feel like I don't fully know or understand. As I previously iterated, I don't fully understand the shadows on the coat, but I'm going to try my best to insinuate where some would be. I also haven't even done his other arm yet, but I'm just going to do that after, not real quick, but like kind of quick. I don't know. The light source would be hitting these folds because it's coming from above. So like a lot of these folds would be hit by the light source. So that's why I'm adding shadows to them. Okay, this is the fold, then it's going to have some shadow coming from there. Fold, shadow. That's just how we can kind of insinuate that there's folds in the stuff. But again, I'm not very good at, covering folds, especially on big, blocky stuff like this. Like, if it's a tight shirt, like, I think folds are really easy to show on a shirt like that. But when it comes to something like this, I think it's a lot more challenging, to get those lines. I also want to add texture to just kind of insinuate that it's a, beaten up kind of coat. So I'll add some cross hatching to add texture to the coat in different locations, just to kind of, because I want this to be like it's a trench coat, but it's also, it kind of reminds me of my father has this, he wears it all the time. He has this, what's it called? Barn coat. And that's what I've always kind of been reminded of with these. So anyway, this is also going to be probably black. I might do cross hatching on it just to keep it kind of in the grayscale. But yeah, most of this is going to be black just to kind of that way it'll also help so you can kind of get the idea that this is the inside of the coat as opposed to the outside of the coat, and that should give those two type of things. Gambit is a cool character. He has some cool powers. I can't wait, hopefully, for the MCU to kind of introduce mutants, because I think mutants are one of the more interesting things that Marvel created. I feel like they were created a really long time ago, and Marvel sort of created them as almost like the way of talking about racism without really bringing up race itself. It's just kind of a way of commenting on it, and I think it's a really well done. Personally, I think it's a really well done way of commenting on racism. It's, you're born one way, like, these people were born with mutant abilities, and then pretty much everybody in the public, not everybody, but a good portion of the public doesn't like them and foresees them, as horrible, and they try to get rid of them and all this other stuff. They're anti-mutant sort of things. I think it's very reminiscent to racism in that regard, and I think that is awesome in how they did that and how they were able to discuss racism. And I just have always really liked them, and I think the X-Men characters are really, there's a vast variety of them, and I think it's really, really awesome, just how many of them there are, and like how they're able to like what their abilities are, and just in general and these different things. So personally, I like them. I'm a big fan of the X-Men. I always have been since I was a little kid. I used to watch the '90s animated show all the time growing up. That show was like one of my favorites. So anyway, yes, this is also the jacket. The cuffs of his jacket, they're a little weird. What if this has? This image doesn't. I thought the cuffs were a little strange. Yeah, they kind of have. Yeah. So the cuffs themselves kind of have weird things, and also a lot of times he's drawn with these like, I don't know if it's like these ties that come off of his jacket. I don't really know what these things are. I think I'm gonna exclude them from my drawing. I just for a second there I thought, oh, why don't I throw them in there? But I think I'm gonna exclude them from my drawing because I just don't think it adds anything to it. I just don't think it really adds anything, changes anything, makes anything better. So why add it? Why add something to the drawing if it doesn't, enhance the drawing at all? Especially if it's not fully like. Hell was that? Especially because not everybody draws, it like that. So it's not like a completely common thing with his costume. And the cool thing I think about art is you can always take liberties too, You don't have to draw things, a specific way. You can definitely take a lot of liberties when it comes to art and stuff and how you want to portray a character. There's always liberties that could be taken. And I think that's one of my favorite things about art, just in general, is just how much freedom of expression there is in it. But yeah, his I think he has these like cuffs almost on here. I don't know if they're like buttons or what. I think they're like just regular cuffs in a way, and they kind of come across here, and they have like their own little texture to them, little things there, and then his sleeves sort of continue off of that, and you can even have like some folds coming out of there. Anyway, we're back to his jacket, right? The way the light's hitting it, this might have some shadow going on here. I would do cross hatching there just because I don't want that to be a harsh shadow in comparison to the harsh shadow going on here. Okay, so now for his hand here. So his wrist kind of comes out of this, right? You don't want it to be like this big, so I would have the wrist sort of come out here. Right? And we'll have that because it's the jacket, and then have his like this, and have his thumb. I gotta make it, I don't want to make it too big. Like this might be way too big, but and what I'm gonna look at is like, okay, how do I want this to be? So this is not correct at all, actually. So I'm thinking like, if he's holding something, right, it's gonna come up diagonal across. So it's gonna come up diagonal and then across like this, something like that. Hopefully from there, it's a little short-tempered, no? Maybe I want it like really stick into his wrist, so it's gonna, pop out. His hand's just gonna pop out from here, like whoop, like this, and then diagonal. I think hands for me are probably the most difficult thing to draw on the human body. I feel like a lot of artists would probably say that. And most people struggle with hands. Let's see here. Something like this. Then we get we get the thumb here. I don't want it to go too far, but yeah. And I do have the hand kind of coming off the screen, so I do plan to do, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the whole blue team, so I'm probably going to have his hand kind of continuing onto the other page here, but let's see. And then you would have, so I think I might have taken the diagonal term and done a little bit too crazy with it, but like this. Hopefully these hands aren't too big. Anyway, and then it would kind of come out here. That. And we have his finger. It's gonna come across here. I have another finger if I'm holding a pipe, I don't have anything really that I can grab and try to pretend like I'm holding. But I'm holding a pipe, right? Like you're gonna probably be able to see a little bit more of it. It's bigger, so you might not be able to see all that. But it's a comic, so it's not as big of a deal. But you know, just these type of things, I'm just trying to like be wary of, if you will. So that kind of comes up here and then back. Right, and then I don't know, man. I don't know. Confusing myself, dude. I'm confusing myself. I'm gonna take hold up. I'm just gonna take any random piece of paper just so I can care, because I just need to be able to see it for right now, just so I can visualize what I'm doing. Is that too big of a hand? I mean, it's pretty large. I think yes. I don't know, dude, what I should do, but this coat is fine. I think the coat is fine. This could be easily how big his wrist is, right? That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. So I'm just trying to figure out the fist. How do I want this fist to look? If I have the wrist coming out here, then right. So if I had the wrist coming out here, the wrist comes out a little bit, then I would have a little bit up, then diagonal, just slight up and diagonal, and a little bit of a goose. So up, and be a little bit like this, a little bit more over. Don't make it too big. Let's say that far, then it goes up, slightly diagonal, like this, and then down. Sorry, down like this. Okay, so like this. Something like this. That looks really weird currently, but I can definitely adjust that when I get to that point. Adjust as need be, but all right, now I'm going to try my best to get this a straight line. I thought that would be like this, though. Yeah, no, if it's going to be in an angle, I don't... I know what he's about to tell me. All right. Then, yeah, I think it would come out probably from this mid, probably like... This is decent space. So probably like the knuckle area. So here. Come out from there. About there. And from about here. About there, yep. Oops. About here. And then I have it. Whoop. So all this stuff in the middle. All this shizzle. My nizzle. These aren't actually straight though. Fuck. This one needs to go in a little bit more. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I don't remember the exact look of this staff all that well. I'm just trying to erase the spare lines. Yeah, the look of this staff, I don't remember all that perfectly well. And it's going to come through here and go like that. Or maybe through here, I don't know. Something like that. I don't remember the look of this staff all that perfectly well. I think that, so again, we got the tip, which is going to be in sort of a nub like this. I think that it has these rotator lines to like this. I think like this. It's also metal, I know that, so try to get it to show metal. These are not even, because I'm the worst. But yeah, actually, yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? If I have the top part like that, it would make more sense for me to have it go like this. So I have the top part sort of hitting. Right? Oh no. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, like this. Sorry, guys. I'm a lot less confident with this drawing than I was with the Miles Morales. I'm trying to make these some of my best I've done, and the Miles Morales was a very quick sketch that I didn't really put a lot of thought into. Whereas this, like I said, I'm trying to get something really awesome here, and that's why I'm putting a ton of thought into how it looks and exactly how it functions and stuff like that. So, I'm trying to make sure I got these straight lines and stuff like that. Like, okay, I don't want the thing looking all funky looking. I want it to actually have depth and dimension. It's supposed to be straight, so hopefully it does look that. Hopefully it continues to look that way. It does kind of look like his proportions are a little off, but I don't think they are. Yeah, and then this crotch would maybe be right here. So ignore this. But yeah, I do think that's his waist, though, and I'm just coloring this black. I do think that's his waist, though. For some reason, he looks a bit stubby to me. I don't know. It might just be me. I thought maybe this could be lowered, but I don't want to make it too crazy tall. If that makes sense. And also, I can't remember. Yeah, so his thumb doesn't, and so does some of his fingers. So his thumb doesn't have it, but it's like you put it. I'm trying to think like this. It would go here, right across the palm. So like this, I believe. Something like this, and then this would all be And since it's up there, I'm pretty much just going to make this shadowed or dark because it is black. It's a black, like costume. A bunch of these fingers are going to be black as well. And then, I'll give some shadow just off the rip there. And then for here, I think it's good to give shadow in this as well, but to showcase that it's metal, we'll just kind of, this is like a 90s trick, just kind of make the shadow go up it in a weird angle, like this, to show that it's metal. And we're going to make the line a little thicker. The light's hitting there, so we'll just make this side a little bit thick. There we go. So hopefully that works like I wanted it to. Okay. And then, to kind of go along with my other one here, I need to have the same line like this of trees. Whoops, it's down here more so. It's kind of here. And I'm just lightly, putting the trees in just to mimic that they're there. I don't really care that much because I will do it later. All right. So here we are, and I could probably add a little bit more, I don't know, like lines to this area because off his arm here, giving some shadow, and like I said, this is all going to be harshly shadowed. And on her body, I'll probably add some harsher shadows, but I'm not worried about it too bad. Here we'll have some shadow. The light's coming from there. Here it's kind of be a little bit harsher, but it's not too bad here. Like I said, I don't want to get, the female body too shadowed. But anyway, I don't know if you guys can see, but hopefully if I can line them up. Hopefully, the idea is lining them up and hopefully creating what looks really like one smooth transitional image. So, like they could go together. But there's Gambit, the pencil's done, and Rogue with the pencil's done. It was about an hour stream. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you tuned in, if not, if you tune into the video later, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. But this is me. This is what I'll be doing as of right now. So, yeah, thanks for checking in. If you did, end of the stream. Actually, I'll give you guys a better look at a Gambit if possible. So hopefully that's a decent look at him, so you can see kind of what's going on here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. See you. Jesus, get this.